Hi everyone, this is Dee from Passion for Paper Beads, and I'm here to do the second video for Janice. We're in her lovely studio, and I'm here to introduce to you the Amazing Base plus Mica, which is the new product Amazing Base that we showed you in the first video, and mixed with Mica, and they look like this. This is Kit 1, which has the metallics, and Kit 2 has the colors. So we're just going to show you the metallics today, but I'll show you some beads that have been made using both the colors from Kit 2 and the metallics from Kit 1. So this is what they look like. Your containers might look a little different. These were some of the first containers. So they have a flip top, and you'll have the 4 colors to choose from. You have a bronze, you have a gold, you have a silver, and you have a russet. So we're going to show you these. So the main important thing is once they sit for a while, the mica will settle to the bottom of the container. So you need to shake them up really good. Don't worry about the bubbles, they'll pop. Shake them up until you don't see any mica on the bottom anymore, and then you're ready to go. Now, to use the micas, you want to be able to dip them in. So we're going to use one of these, which is just your regular bamboo skewers. You can usually find them at the dollar store, and a piece of tape, and you start at the top here and you wind it down so that you cover about an inch of this, and then you just put your bead on the end so it's secure on there. The tape will keep it from sticking. However, once you dip it in the solution, you shouldn't leave it on for more than about, I would say, 5 minutes is usually good till you can touch it, but it's still not, it's not wet, but you can get it off. 10 minutes max, because this product tightens the paper so much that what will happen is the solution's not causing it to stick to the tape, because it won't, but the bead itself is going to harden and squeeze and tighten, and you won't be able to get the stick out. So we're going to remove them, and we're going to put them on to a non-stick surface, and I'll just show you. We're going to use a Styrofoam plate. So again, you need to make sure that you cover your stick with a piece of tape. Start at the tip and just kind of roll it at an angle like that, and you can use these sticks over and over and over again. And if the tape gets all yucky and sticky, which it will with product, you can just take the tape off and put fresh tape on. So there, just like that, and they're ready to be dipped. I'll get this out of the way and grab a plate. So after we dip them and they are ready to come off, we'll be just putting it on your regular basic old Styrofoam plate. So here we go. I'm going to start with, see, the mica settled to the bottom, so you need to shake it up. And if they've been sitting quite a while, you might have to shake them for a few minutes. It'll actually, the solution will turn white again when all the mica really separates. But once you shake it, it stays suspended in the solution fairly well. So we're going to start with the gold. And I'm just using a styrofoam cup that I've poked some holes in the top. You can use a shoebox, whatever you want to put them on. So the flip top lid, let's get that so you can see it. So you just open it, and you take this and you put it in and go round and round and round and round, about 5 seconds, and then set it like that and let it do its magic. Now these beads, let's bring these closer so you can see them all. These beads right here were dipped first in Kit 2 in the colors, different colors we've got. It looks like the blue or the green, the coral, and the pink. And then once it dried, they were dipped again in the metallics. So these don't have any vibrance on them yet. This is just from the base. And they were strung on the fishing line like we did in the first video, and then dipped again in the Amazing Base, let it dry, and they're ready for the vibrance. Okay, so our first little bead that we're doing, you can give it a little tap if you want, so you're not going to have a bunch of drips. See that? Real good right there. There we go, and just kind of run it around the edge, give it a few taps, and then let it sit there for 5 or 10 minutes. We'll do another color. Make sure your lid's on all the way. You don't want to spill this stuff. And if you should have an accident and spill it, make sure you clean it up right away, because once it dries, it will not come off. It's that waterproof. This is silver. Let's see, which one is this? That's russet, and that's bronze. So we did gold. Gold was the first one we did. And when you dip it, it gives it a really nice sheer color, and it colors the ends of the bead really nicely. If you want it darker, you can do 2 dips. That's fine. If you're using the kit 2 colors first, usually 1 dip in that and then 1 dip in the metallics is all you need. Okay, it's really not necessary to do 3. So I'm gonna try the bronze on the next bead. You just shake it all up. Open your container and try not to spill this, and then just like 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000, 5, 1000, done. And let it sit there for a minute. Okay? There we go. You can bend this back more. These are brand new containers, so the lids are a little jumpy on them. There we go. So then when I keep trying to close. Now, this one you can see that it's starting to dry, and you can see the color starting to show up. When you first dip it and put it in, you really can't see what it's doing, but as the bead begins to dry, it'll really start letting the mica show you, I can't have a screen, the mica show you what it's starting to look like. And let's see, you can see how the mica catches on the end of the bead. So when it's dry, it'll be much more apparent than it is right now because it's still pretty wet. But it looks like you almost dipped the end of the bead in paint. Okay, so while these are sitting here, I'm going to show you some other beads with mica. I'm dipping this. Use paper or something underneath where you're working, because you get little splatters and little spots, and by the time you find them and notice them, you might, they're dry. They won't come off. If you spill it on your pants or clothes, you should be wearing something you don't care about too much when you do this, because trust me, I got some on my pants and 5 washings later I can still see little mica pretties all over my black pants, but it's okay. So there you go. So if you can see that there's like some running down. The other thing you can do for a little different effect is you can keep turning it and then flip it over and keep turning it, and that way the mica is moving around on the bead, but it's not really making a swirl pattern, but it makes it a little bit more like splotchy, kind of more distressed looking, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So we're going to let these guys keep drying for a few more minutes, and then we'll take them off and put them on the plates. So these colors here are from Kit 1. So they do everything that the Amazing Base does by itself, plus it adds the mica, which is a benefit. So it still has all the benefits, the waterproofing, the tightening, the UV protection. It's still non-toxic. The micas are all non-toxic. So it does absolutely everything that the Amazing Base does by itself, same properties, but this one's going to deposit a little bit of color on your beads. And I can say, people ask me all the time, so which beads don't you use mica on? And that's pretty much it, because once you start using it and you see what it can do to your beads, it's so fun. It's hard not to use it on everything, and I'm pretty much there with I use it on everything. So we'll show you some beads. These beads right here, we showed these in the other video, but these have mica. It's just dipped in mica over the actual novel pages, you know, like from a book that you read. And then they have some metallic craft paint on the end to make it a little darker. A lot of you have seen these type of beads listed on Pinterest and probably wondered, how did they do that? They stain them with coffee and teas and do all kinds of things, but we took it another whole direction, and this is really fun. So we've got the mica. And I was talking about you can take it and keep flipping the bead back and forth to get it to look a little bit more distressed, and I think that shows up on there. You can see how it kind of makes like a swerve pattern right there. These look amazing in person. I can only hope that we're beginning to capture some of it on the screen because they really are beautiful. These again were the scrapbook papers. These were all dipped in the Kit 1 metallics. One time, and then they were strung and dipped in the Amazing Base straight, and then 2 coats of Vibrance. So these all have the micas on them. So what you're seeing, all those little lines, let's see if we can get this up closer. You see how it just grabs like on the edge of the paper right there? So when you look at it from this angle, there is no more white lines. There is no more white edges. When you look at it from that angle, you really can see the mica. But when you look at it sideways, it almost looks like you went through and hand painted little rings throughout the paper. It's really beautiful. It's hard to decide which one you like the best, and we've used it on so many different things, but pretty much everything I have in my tray right here I've used mica on. Okay, this one right here, and you can see how it has like almost a little bit of a blistered paint effect on it. I'm going to show you how I did that. I just take a glove, a regular plastic glove like this, and you're going to cut one of the fingertips off, and then you are going to just cover your finger like this, and when you shake the mica, it gets all bubbly. So what you're going to want to do is, Janice, do you have just a piece of white paper that I can put this on and let it dry, like a back of a business card or anything? Doesn't have to be anything fancy. There, that's perfect, thank you. So we're just going to put some on here. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking this bubbly stuff and just kind of dotting it around to where I want it and letting it dry. And that's how you create that really distressed looking blistered effect. See? And we'll just let that dry and then check back on it. Okay, so that's it. You're protecting it with your finger, and you can do that. And you can do that to smooth it out on beads. You could have done it on this if you wanted to. You could have dipped it and then just go through and turn it, maybe like so, smoothing it out, or adding a little extra mica to a specific area that you want to target. You could do that too. There's so much you could do with this, and we're just beginning. We've been doing this. Kelly Brewer and I have been trialing these products and using them on everything we can think of for the last 6 months, and so we're just getting going, ladies. I have no idea where all the different things we're going to come up with, but we just keep coming up with new things. Okay, these pendants that I showed you earlier, these are made out of layered cardboard. They've been treated with the Amazing Base to make them really hard. Then they were dipped in the mica, and then they had a little bit of like a glitter nail polish to make like the little raised areas. But see how shiny they are? There you go. Okay, so these beads, you just want to touch them. They shouldn't. You don't want to stick to your fingers. And then just turn your stick like this, and it should come right out. Okay, and then lay them on a non-stick plate to dry. And I would say about 30 minutes. They should be dry enough. See, the tape stays on. Just let them dry. You're just going to have them drying on your plate till they're dry. Then you're going to string them and dip them again in the Amazing Base. So you can see there's a lot of possibilities with these different mixes, and right now we have 8 colors. We have the Kit 1, which is the metallics, the Kit 2, which is the colors, and we've already begun trialing new colors and to see which ones are the most versatile, which have the best colors. There's so many different possibilities. So we will have more colors sometime in the future, but for now we started with the colors that we feel are like the most versatile that you can use on just about anything. And we will have probably get a good purple, maybe another gold, because I could see we have another gold we're working with. It's really pretty. So we will have more colors coming. So you can see how this is making like little raised dots, and when it dries, again, that's what created that kind of blistered effect on the pendant, like blistered paint, so it looks very aged. Okay. And then back these again, these were dipped in the Kit 2 colors first, and then after that dried they were dipped in the Kit 1 metallics. So then you would just string them when they're dry and give them one dip in the Amazing Base. Because you've already dipped them, you only need to dip them one more time, and then you're just ready to, when they're dry, to dip them in the Vibrance and get them nice and shiny, so they will look like iPad challenge. So Jenna said to come push a button for me. Okay, so like this is completely finished, so it's that shiny. I think you can see that one pretty good. See how it's very, very shiny. Okay, so this is what we wanted to show you today for the metallics. Don't forget, really important, before you use the Amazing Base or the Amazing Base and micas, you always want to shake them. Okay, this one you don't want the special secret sauce inside to settle to the bottom. You want it all mixed up so it gets all over your beads. Same with the mica. In this one it's hard to remember to shake because you don't see it settle to the bottom, but it does. So you need to shake them both before you start. And like I said, if they've been sitting for a while, and hopefully once you start using this they won't get a chance to sit for a while, because you're just going to be like obsessed with trying it on everything because it's so much fun. But shake it really good, okay? If you haven't used it like in 24 hours, you're going to have to shake it a little extra to make sure that everything's evenly distributed inside. So this is what we wanted to show you today about the mica mixes, and they're just beautiful. So thank you so much for watching.